phrase, because style never dies, because they fucking killed everything. They killed the internet, for a while they killed everybody's jobs, they did etc, etc, etc. I know for a fact one of the founders slept with someone to get the investment. Fact. So that leaves us here with try not to be a rude, sexist, racist, thieving, ill-informed pervert, frankly. Because you've got to understand the bad. Don't be like this. Our industry should be better than that. We should be all working towards something better than that. So there is more, sorry. So understanding what not to do is often more useful than knowing what to do. And this is about opposite thinking and coming things from the other side. And this is, in work, the way that I kind of try and approach things a lot. And I'm not the first person to think of this. Paul Arden's book, Whatever You Think the Opposite, obviously talks about this quite a lot. About, you know, it stops you being trapped if you go it from the other way. You start creating unsafe ideas, which everybody talks about. The idea of failing is very important at the minute, and I think everybody should take that on board. It keeps you childish, it keeps you keen, and you stop talking and you start making things, which is different. So I thought I'd just show some opposites that we know, because I'm like, opposites, what's that? We all know that within the colour wheel, opposites fit together very well. That's an opposite that we all know. Batteries. You know, batteries are positives and minors. You think that's not particularly interesting, but, you know, it was part of the start of the Industrial Revolution. The idea of two things at one end coming together and having a relationship with each other. In chemistry, the opposites are the things that always attract, and that's an absolute given in all chemistry. We wouldn't have life without chemistry, without opposites actually attracting to each other. I'm sort of running out of time, so if anybody wants to know about paradoxical intention, I'll talk to them, but it's a way of people kind of psychologically healing themselves. So, you know, in terms of that, opposites are important. If you ever go to IKEA, the best way of getting around IKEA is to go the opposite way around, because there is actually shortcuts. Nobody ever tells me this. I'm getting my house done at the minute, and my builder told me this, because I've never noticed them. Anyway, going the opposite way around IKEA saves you time. Get together, it just all works out. So, obviously Paula Abdul is a really big mentor of mine, but as we all know, in life, with your girlfriend or boyfriend, opposites do quite often attract. In terms of design, this is, I always try and not put this into a talk, but I can't help but do it. This is Naoto Fukasawa's work that he does in his workshops, and these are opposite things put together. So this is an MP3 player, and the headphones are put on a zip, so you just zip them up and they don't get tangled. This is salt and pepper maracas, which makes entertainment fun. Two things you'd never put together, you could put together. Kids' slippers, which have lights in, so when the kids put their feet in the slippers, the lights go on so they can see their way to the bathroom or wherever they're going, which is really sweet. And, you know, a digital Swiss Army knife, which I think is just really poetic. It's a very beautiful kind of thing, but two odd things of opposites that are put together. So the future of opposites, which is where I'm kind of going to wrap up.
Symmetrical book stacking. Just like the Philadelphia mass turbulence of 1947.
You're right, no human being would stack books like this.
Listen! You smell something?
Probably the best line of a film I've ever heard. Listen, you smell that. But, okay, so just keep that in your head. Listen, you smell something. This is a weird quirk of mine, that I've got this thing that I can't open a packet of crisps upside down, so I feel like they'll taste backwards. But when I think about user interaction, you think, is there going to be somewhere in the future you can have the same, you can buy the same food item or the same thing, and depending on where you open it, it will give you a different experience? Because there's things like this happening all the time with smell theory, etc., that this is possibly going to be possible, that everybody will get a different experience from it. It's just that no one's done it with crisps at the minute. Somebody said this to me the other day, left-handed sugar, which I thought, again, just absolute poetry. The idea of language, like, what does that mean? And I think it was amazing, but unfortunately, it's actually about, left-handed sugar is about the development of creating sugar that doesn't actually have any fat in it, so that it solves the obesity problem in the world. But left-handed sugar, I think, is really incredible. And this was just on a sign that someone had written in a shop, which was written with perfume, which I just think is an incredible way of expressing like two things that would never be put together, but it creates the idea of we're creating new dimensions with everything that we're doing all the time. And smell is the least known or understood sense that we understand out of all of them. And it's obviously something in digital that we don't really kind of engage with terrifically, but I'm really interested in terms of how that's gonna pan out. I'm sorry, I'm running out, so I'm gonna speed up. Are these silly notions? I'm not sure they are. These are things that people have said in the past about computers. Ken Olsen, who was part of the mainframe, the one people that really championed mainframe computers and Unix, said that there was no reason anyone would want a computer in their home in 1977. 5 years ago, if somebody said everyone will have a computer in their